Okay, so what is a real number? This should be trimmed up and put on page 15 in your notebook. Real numbers include all rational numbers and all irrational numbers. So we have rational and we have irrational. It says generate 3 examples of rational numbers. So remember, your rational numbers are your natural numbers, whole numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. Generate an example of irrational numbers. So if it's not one of the original that we talked about, then it would be irrational. So an irrational number is your non-terminating, non-repeating decimals, such as pi. Pi never ends, pi never repeats. We can also have our non-perfect squares. So the square root of 15 is not a perfect square, therefore it is an irrational number. Or such as, see, 1/3 is a repeating decimal, so that does not count. But if we have a decimal, like if we say 0.12345, not a pattern, and we put the dots showing that it repeats, that makes that an irrational number. Okay, so we're going to go down below that where it says check the set or sets to which each number belongs. So 18 is a real number. It is a rational number. Therefore, it cannot be an irrational number. It is an integer. It is a whole number. It is a natural number. 2.37. The 37 is repeating. That's what the bar notation right here means. It repeats. That makes it a rational number. If it did not repeat but did not terminate, it would be irrational. 20% as a decimal is 0.2. 0.2 is a let me back up here. 0.23 repeating is not an integer. It is not a whole number. It is not a natural number. It's just a rational number and a real number. 20% is going to be 0.2. So again, real number, rational number. Pi, real number, irrational number. Square root of 8. 8 is not a perfect square, so it is real number, irrational. Okay, down below that it says write a statement about the set or sets of numbers to which negative 45 belongs. So you can write something about negative 45 is the opposite of 45, which is a natural number, so it is an integer, which makes it a rational number and a real number, or however complicated you want to make it. Is a little bit different. It says sets of real numbers homework, circle the sets where each number belongs. So this is getting cut out and this is getting put on the right hand side of your notebook, I believe page 16. So A says 34. 34 is a rational number. Now you don't actually know this, we haven't gone over this, so you can write this down if you'd like, but the real numbers are notated with our letters here. So real numbers are R's, rational numbers are Q's, don't ask me why, irrational numbers are P's, integers are Z's, whole numbers are W's, and natural numbers are N. You don't really need to know this for anything other than this one particular exercise. If you actually want to go ahead and label above each of the columns here, that may be beneficial and help you out. So remembering that these are your rational numbers. Nope, sorry, real numbers. Let me fix that. These are your real numbers, irrational, rational, integers, whole, and natural. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. So 34 is a real number, it's a rational number, integer, whole number, natural number. Then you're going to go down through -6, 2/7, 500%, which is 5.0, and square root of 19, remembering that if it's a non-perfect square, it's an irrational number. Below that, it says record the numbers in the proper location. So these are the numbers we're looking at. And -7 is an integer, so it's going to go right there. You don't have to fill it in rational numbers or real numbers. You just put it in the innermost box in the Venn diagram. So go ahead and do the rest of these. Put them where they belong. Part 3 says circle the set of numbers that only represents natural numbers. So it's going to be one or the other. Either this first set or this second set will represent only natural numbers. And then part 4 says in which set or sets of numbers does 0 belong? And I'm going to go ahead and add to that and say, explain. So I don't just want you to tell me what set it belongs to. I want you to explain to me why it belongs to that particular set. And then this should be glued in the right-hand side of your notebook, and we will talk about it tomorrow.